Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this lecture, we will study about the second part of theories of development, second part of first unit. And the first part, we have learned about the behaviorist theories, the classical conditioning and the operant conditioning. And in this part, we will discuss or we will learn about the constructivist theories, the cognitive constructivism and social constructivism. What is the constructivism or constructivist theorist point of view? The idea that students actively construct their knowledge from their personal experiences with others and the environment. It is the core idea of constructivism. A theory that emphasizes active learning such as group activities like cooperative learning, learning from others, or learning through the interaction with others and constructing knowledge rather than acquiring it. According to this theory, students learn by doing. They involve in the activities and learn the desired phenomena. Children understand by reflecting on their experiences. They learn through their experiences. They learn by involving themselves into the situation. Children construct their own understanding of a topic or problem when they actively participate in the learning process and develop their critical thinking skills by using different problem solving techniques when they choose the different solutions to solve a problem with the help of guider, teacher or any experimenter. Here are some theorists, constructivist theorists, in which Jean Piaget, John Dewey, and Len Vygotsky are famous and important. Jean Piaget gave the cognitive constructivism approach. He demonstrated that children's minds were not empty but were constantly processing the material they were presented. The cognitive constructivists, which we discuss in the later slides, in the further slides in detail. John Dewey works on the experiences of the students. He emphasizes the significance of experiences in education. Then Len Vygotsky, he introduced the social constructivism. He is the most important theorist of social for social constructivism. He observed that children rarely did as well when perform alone than they did when work in group and with their peers and with the help of adults and guiders, teachers, etc. Here is a chart for describing the constructivist theories. The cognitive constructivism given by Jean Piaget and the social constructivism given by Lev Vygotsky. The main concepts and principles that are included in the Jean Piaget's cognitive constructivism are schema, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibrium, and the position of disequilibrium. Learning is an active rather than passive process. Learning should be whole, authentic, and real to be reflective. According to cognitive constructivism, it is also known as individual constructivism. So, according to cognitive constructivism, uh, the main focus is on how individuals construct knowledge in their minds. According to this, individuals have a natural tendency to search for understanding as they interact with the environment. Social interactions are not heavily emphasized and are considered to be only one of the mechanisms that facilitate the cognitive growth. A learner's discussion with a teacher or peer may create cognitive conflict, motivating the learner to try to resolve the disequilibrium by individually reconstructing his or her knowledge structure. In Piaget's term, or according to Piaget, learners who interact with others and the environment construct knowledge by organizing the assimilation and accommodation new information in their cognitive structure, which we will discuss in the further slides. And according to the social constructivism given by Lev Vygotsky, he focuses that learners share individual perspectives with others to construct understandings together that would not be possible to construct individually. It is opposite to the cognitive individual constructivism. In contrast to individual constructivism given by Jean Piaget, according social constructivism, Len Vygotsky emphasizes that how individuals develop new knowledge and skills in the social context and construct their knowledge with the interaction through the interaction with others. According to this learning perspective, learners share individual perspectives with others to construct their knowledge, their understandings together that would not be possible to construct individually. It is opposite to the cognitive constructivism. Now, the principal and main concepts of social constructivism included social interaction, the social psychological tool language, MKO, the more knowledgeable other, mean learn knowledge with the help of other knowledgeable person, your guider, teacher, experimenter, mentor, etc. The zone of proximal development and the principle of scaffolding or tutoring. These are the principles that we will discuss in the further slides in detail. The mental capacity already presented. So the accommodation, it occurs when a person must change existing schemas to respond to a new situation. If data cannot be made to fit any existing schema, then more appropriate structures must be developed. So accommodation, what is accommodation? We adjust our thinking to fit the new information instead of adjusting the information to fit our thinking, as we learned in previous Peacock example. When things do not operate within that context, they must accommodate and reframe the expectations and experiences with the outcomes. So in the classroom, children are encouraged to discover themselves through spontaneous interaction with the environment rather than to require the ready-made knowledge, etc. Piaget's cognitive constructivism theory asserts that children go through all the same developmental stages, however, they do so at different rates. Because of this, teacher must make a special effort to arrange classroom activities for individuals and groups of children rather than for the whole class group. The educational implication of Piaget's theory is the adaptation of instruction to the learner's developmental level. It is therefore important that the content of instruction needs to be consistent with the developmental level of the learner. The main role of the teacher is the facilitator of learning by providing various experiences to the students. The instructional strategy of discovery learning allows opportunities for students to explore and experiment while encouraging new understanding. So teacher can adopt and can use the discovery and inquiry method to teach the new things to the students. And she or he can provide the opportunities to the students that allow learners of different cognitive levels to work together and can provide help to encourage them to solve the problem, and can provide help to the less mature students to make them to make their understanding higher about the learned material. One future implication for the instruction of students is the use of hands-on experiences to help students to learn by doing through involving their mental capabilities. Now the social constructivism. Social constructivism was introduced by the Len Vygotsky. It is a type of constructivism where learners share individual perspectives with others to construct understanding together that would not be possible to construct individually. Vygotsky describes cognitive development. He sees the cognitive development as the interaction between social interaction, language, and culture. According to him, culture gives the child the cognitive tools needed for development. Adults such as parents, teachers, facilitators, guiders are the conduits for the tools of the culture, including language. He considered cultural tools as the tools that provide the support thinking. He believed that all higher ordered mental processes such as reasoning and problem solving are mediated by psychological tools such as language, signs and symbols. Adult, teacher, facilitator or guider provide these tools to children during day-to-day activities, and then children internalize them. They help the children to learn about the experimentations and different activities, and they provide help to the students, and students learn with the help of the experienced persons and then internalize the learned information. Thus children knowledge, ideas and attitude, values, appropriating the ways of thinking and acting that provided to keep searching ahead. That acting provided by culture and more capable person. The tools culture provides as child include cultural history, social context, and language. Vygotsky believed that cognitive development occurs through the children conversation and interaction with more capable member of the culture, adults or more able person. And he focused on the language. Because private speech helps students to regulate their thinking, it makes sense to allow and even encourage them to use private speech in school with their teachers, with their peers, etc. So language and culture and social interaction help them to create their own knowledge and lifelong learning. He considered the language is the most important symbol system in the toolkit, and it is the one that helps the student to learn about the things. Language is critical for cognitive development. It provides a means for expressing the ideas, feelings, emotions, and they can ask the questions about their problems and difficult concepts. The categories and concepts for thinking and the links between the past and future. They can maintain the link between the past and future information. The key components of the Vygotsky's theories include, as we discussed earlier in the table in the slide number 3 or 4, the given table, the social interaction, zone of proximal development, scaffolding, and the MKO. Now we will discuss about these components individually in detail. First component is the social interaction. Vygotsky felt social learning anticipates development. He states every function in the child's cultural development appears to us, first on social level and later on individual level. First between people, that is known as interpsychology, and then inside the child, that is known as intrapsychology. According to him, child learned the knowledge and acquired the knowledge through interaction with other people. First, he interact with others and learn or acquire the knowledge, and then this process occurs inside the child. For example, after the interaction with others, he or she will be able to develop his or her own concept, ideas and thinkings about the learned phenomena. So according to him, every interaction to acquire the knowledge or understanding first occurs between people, that is known as interpsychological, between people, and then inside the child, that is known as intrapsychological, inside the child. He believes that young children are curious and actively involved in their own learning and the discovery and development of the new understandings. According to him, mental process appears first between people as they are co-constructed during shared activities. Then the processes are internalized by the child and become the part of that child's cognitive development. According to him, it is a social process in which people interact and negotiate verbally to create an understanding about any phenomena or to solve a problem. The final product is then shaped by all the participants individually. So, according to him, learning takes place in a social context and by interacting with others. The next one is more knowledgeable other, MKO. The MKO refers to someone who has a better understanding or have higher abilities than the learner with respect to learned phenomena or required phenomena of study, particular task, process or concept. For example, teacher, our mentors, adults, facilitators, guiders are our facilitator or guiders because they are more knowledgeable than students. Many times a child's peer or an adult who have more knowledge than him can be used as a more knowledgeable person to guide into a particular task or in any experience. Next one is zone of proximal development. The zone of proximal development is, according to Vygotsky, the zone of proximal development is this is an important concept that relates to the difference between what a child can achieve independently, what he knows in advance, and what he cannot achieve without the guidance of the skilled person. According to Vygotsky, learning occurs when the child learns through the experienced person with the help of the skilled person. The zone of proximal development, there are many different problems in which the child needs just some clues, structures, reminders and encouragement to keep trying and to keep their success on track. They only need to give them a reminder and clue and give them motivation and encouragement to keep on their work. But some problems, of course, are beyond child's abilities or capabilities. Even in those problems, every step is needed to help and needed to explain. So the zone of proximal development is the area where the child cannot solve a problem alone, but can be successful under the guidance under adult guidance or with the collaboration of more experienced person, or he or she can be his or her peer also. This is the area where instruction can succeed, because real learning is possible through interaction with others. So zone of proximal development is to provide help the child to be successful or to be skilled in those areas where he or she cannot proceed alone. The next one is the scaffolding. It is a German concept that means support for learning. Support for learning and for problem solving. The support could be clues, reminders, encouragement, breaking the problems into different steps and providing a solution to that problem, and providing an example or anything else that allows the student to grow in independence as a learner. It is like peer tutoring, or it is like tutoring that student can attain from any peer tutor or a teacher. It is a teaching method that helps students to learn more by working with a teacher or with a more advanced peer or friend, etc., to achieve the learning goals or desirable goals for their learning. So ZPD, Zone of Proximal Development, and scaffolding are similar concepts in which but they are quite different. In the ZPD, the student cannot learn without the help of the any elder person or skilled person, and in the scaffolding, he or she only need to be just move on, or he or she only need to be guided in a particular task. That is, the concept and ideas that are beyond the reach of the students can be taught through the zone of proximal development, and in which they only require the help can be taught through the process of scaffolding. This is all about the concepts are given by the social constructivism. According to social constructivism, learning takes place through the interaction with others or in the social context. Children develop through informal and formal conversation with other adults. They develop their knowledge, and complex mental activities begin as basic social activities. Children can perform more difficult tasks with the help of more advanced individual, and it plays important role in acquiring their knowledge and allow the children to stretch themselves cognitively. So the task for your student is identify and identify the similarities between cognitive constructivism and social constructivism, and then find out the difference between the individual constructivism and social constructivism. Write down the main points of their similarities and differences between them. Thank you.